your limiting beliefs are really, really holding you down. They're kind of weighing you back from getting where you want to go. And I'll explain, I'll give a little story. I actually made this up. Imagine you're a fish and you're in a container, right? A glass tank. Now, this tank is your world because you're a fish. This world to you is everything, right? But you're a fish, you don't see the outside world. Because the outside world is so much bigger than one tank, of course it is. But you know what's interesting? That the tank is actually transparent because it's glass. So technically you can see this outside world, but to you it's an illusion. Because I mean, number one, you can't escape the tank. And number two, even if you could, there's no water in the outside world. So it's not like you can integrate yourself in this world. It's not like you can kind of navigate it because you're a fish. Now that fish, since he can't go into the outside world, conforms that his entire world and all his possibilities are inside this 4x4 glass tank. And he conforms and stays there until the day he dies. What if I told you that you're this fish and the tank is your limiting beliefs? See, there's this world ahead of what you think could happen. There's this world ahead of your perspective. And it's a world where you can be successful. It's a world where you can have everything that you've ever dreamed of. And it's a world where you can achieve quite literally anything if you just try hard enough. But of course, to you, that sounds like bullshit because you have your limiting beliefs. You have this tank. And so it's curious, right? It's ironic. Like you see it and you see other people doing it on social media. You see people who have all this money, or you see this person who has the type of relationship you want to have. But to you, it's like, oh no, they're faking it. Oh no, they have something I don't have. Oh no, they're just genetically more gifted than me. And boom, that tank, those glass walls start thickening. And you see it through the outside, but you start disassociating with it. You're like, this can't be me. That I can't go in there because I can't navigate that. I'm not meant for that. When in reality, all you had to do is realize that you can just, become a mutant fish and hop out of the tank, and boom, there you are. And I mean, the silly story, obviously, you're probably thinking, Jorge, stop saying stupid shit. But it's true. There's limiting beliefs that you have that you don't even know are there. Like they're in your subconscious. And you know how crazy that is? That there's a subconscious part of yourself, a part that you're not aware of in your own brain that is sabotaging and holding you back. The very thing that's supposed to push you forward and help you gain everything you want is holding you back. And it's all because you haven't unlocked this part of your brain. And so once you start becoming self-aware of this, you start realizing all the limiting beliefs you have surrounding everything. Surrounding money. Oh, I can't make this much. I mean, my dad only makes X amount. I've only seen the people around me make X amount. Why would I be able to do anything else? Oh, I have to go to college to be successful. I mean, look around me. Who else isn't going to college? Oh, I mean, girls only like guys who are 6'5", blue eyes, jacked, and millionaires, right? Why would they like me? I'm 5'7" and Asian. And so these limiting beliefs, you're almost cucking yourself. Imagine like the girl you want to fuck is your goals, and you're supposed to be fucking her, but instead you're like, no, I'm not good enough for this. So you put yourself in that cuckold chair and just watch everybody but you have it. Man, doesn't that burn? Realizing that you're cucking yourself out of living the life that you deserve. So, begs the question, how do we stop this? Well, number one is, as I said, becoming self-aware of these limiting beliefs that you're experiencing. So you have to be very conscious of the thoughts that go through your mind every day because they slip by. It's like slimy. It slips by. So for example, you'll be, looking for a job and you'll be about to apply, but you'll be like, no, they won't want me. There are people that are more qualified. Boom, limiting belief. Let's stop it there. Let's analyze this. I have the qualifications. I know I can be better. I've studied and practiced this to be good at that job. Why wouldn't I apply? Okay, number two, you're walking on the street and you see this beautiful girl you want to talk to. No, she's gonna think I'm ugly or stupid, or she's just gonna run away from me and call the cops. Boom, limiting belief. I mean, she might not find me attractive, but she might find me attractive. If I talk to her and she rejects me, what's the worst that can happen? And really, she's not gonna call the cops because I did nothing wrong, hopefully. Boom, let's go talk to her. In my case, I don't want to go to college. But, my parents are telling me that if I don't go to college, I'll be a failure. My friends around me are laughing because I want to escape the matrix. And, my brother's an exemplary student who's going to college, and everybody around me is validating him. And by the way, not to say that my brother isn't amazing, he is, but you get the point. And so I realized, limiting belief. Is there other people who haven't gone to college and have been successful? Yeah. Does college help me with the goal I'm trying to achieve? Not really. Am I going to go to college and live the life that others want and kind of disassociate with my own understanding of life and what I want for it? No. Would I be happy if I lived somebody else's life that wasn't my own? No. If I took the risk and failed horribly, would I regret that more than going to college and have never tried? No. So, months later, here I am, and as you can see, well, you can't see, but I'll tell you, I've landed a job, which has always been my dreams, to work online for an influencer, and I'm making really decent money as an 18-year-old, and more than anything, I'm fulfilled. And it's the same with everything that's come to my life. There's goals that you have that are bigger than yourself, especially if you're ambitious, and sometimes you have to realize that there's part of your mind that has fear, and this fear is a survival mechanism, and it's because when something is larger than you, or at least you think it's larger than you, it can be scary. And there's so many alternatives, because there's always the alternative to fail. But the alternative to not failing is not succeeding, because there is no success without failure. It doesn't exist. People think those two are contradicting. They're the same thing. One is the stepping stone for the other. And so once I realized this in my life, I started seeing all these limiting beliefs that I have surrounding every single goal or aspiration that I ever had. And it's like the whole world around me just disintegrated, and I saw things for what they really were. And I'm still working on this process because I have limiting beliefs every day. Like, should I make these videos if nobody's going to watch them? Well, if nobody watched them, would I still want to make them? Yeah. And is there a chance that people will watch them? Yeah. And if other people made videos that are probably worse at speaking and have less topics than me and have more subscribers and build a business out of it, yeah. So why wouldn't I do it? These limiting beliefs are like, when you're young and your parents tell you to go to sleep and you're in your bed and you're scared because there's monsters around you, right? Or at least you think there is. It's completely dark and you're deathly scared that there's monsters around you. Now, if you go to your parents' room every day or every night because you're scared of these monsters, then the monsters will always be there. And if your parents validate that, you're going to be seeing monsters until you're 35. And you're going to be pissing the bed. But as soon as your parents force you to stay in that room because they know there's no monsters, you realize, okay, nobody's biting me. I'm not dead. Maybe there's no monsters. And you dare to get off your bed. And little you climbs off the bed and touches around him. And you realize, okay, there's a wall. There's a light switch. Okay, I'm seeing things now. This is darkness. But everything's still around me. But there's no monsters. See, it's the same thing. These monsters are your limiting beliefs, and you don't see them, but they're like scaring you. They're like, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't try that. But once you realize, like, wait, are these real? And you try and interact with them, they disintegrate. They leave because they're cowards. They're the coward part of your brain. And so hopefully through this, I can be that parent that forces you to interact with these limiting beliefs and realize that they were never real in the first place. They're just figments of the part of yourself that is scared of success, that wants to conform and survive. And this, interacting and disintegrating these limiting beliefs, is what will separate the survivors from the thrivers. So if you want to learn a bit more about this, as well as other topics that I talk about, and even just have more of a connection with me, because that's really what I want to build, is a connection with you and form a community. There's a free Discord that I made down below, link in the description. I advise you to check it out.